So we've talked about how Xcel and other energy companies pass along natural gas costs dollar for dollar. What they pay for the gas is what we pay for the gas. What we just learned is that Xcel is also allowed to pass along the cost of its legal team. We are paying for Xcel's lawyers who try to get the regulators to charge us more for a whole variety of things. Here's Marshall Zellinger.
I'm not able to answer a question.
When the Public Utilities Commission can only listen and not respond, who do you reach out to for answers about high utility bills?
We are independent of both the Public Utilities Commission and the governor's office.
Cindy Schoenhout is the director of the UCA, the State Office of Utility Consumer Advocate, basically our lifeline, defending us consumers in front of the PUC when energy companies like Xcel ask for rate increases.
We haven't been very successful. And the reason is because we're an advocate, not a decision maker.
The three PUC commissioners are the decision maker. Take, for example, the most recent $64 million gas rate increase that the PUC approved to take effect this past November. The UCA fought against some of the costs, including $2.2 million that Xcel wanted built into the rate increase to pay for the legal team that was needed to argue for the rate increase.
The cost that the company incurred to put on a case to raise consumer rates, consumers are paying for those costs.
As part of the rate increase, we're refunding their legal fees to get the rate increase.
We are giving them the money to get the rate increase, yes.
If it's any consolation, the PUC knocked the $2.2 million down to $2 million, and the PUC encouraged Xcel to better manage its expenses related to rate cases.
As far as a success from our office, I would really point to yesterday's public comment hearing. And the reason is, we didn't speak, of course, consumers did, and they had something to say.
And if you have something to say, the UCA wants to hear from you. You can call or email, but their email is ridiculously long, so go to the website, uca.colorado.gov, scroll all the way down to the bottom left. In the last 2 months, the UCA received 102 emails and voicemails, with another dozen since the PUC public meeting yesterday.
I will tell you, I've been in this position 9 years. I can't even measure the order of magnitude difference between what we received in the last 6 to 12 months from consumers with the whole 9 years before that.
I would argue that the scariest place in your house is no longer the unfinished basement, but perhaps right there on the side of the house. Holy moly, is that email address unconscionable. So if you go to the website, uca.colorado.gov, you can scroll to the bottom and click on the email link, and it auto-populates so that you don't have to write it in. Also, I noticed at the top of the website, there is a Google form now. If you click a link, you can just type in some information about what you want to complain about, Kyle.
Listen, if I was a cynical person, Marshall, which I'm not, I believe everybody and everything, I would think they don't actually want people sending emails to that address based on its length and complexity.
I'm Marshall at 9news.com because I don't think people can spell my first and last name very easily, so it's just simply Marshall at 9news.com. Perhaps we could come up with uca@state.co.us if it has to end like that.
Yeah. Well, as Marshall said, go to his article. It'll auto-populate the form for you. You're making it easy. Thank you, Marshall.